Marshall of Kansas. Senator, thank you very much for taking the time today. You know, here's my problem. We've got a division out there. And when we have, we want to build a bridge, but we need something to build a bridge on the other side. And the other side keeps looking at you and me with a straight face and says, we don't have a problem, the border is closed. How do you negotiate that?
Well, Scott, let me start by saying it's a sad day in America when China is paying more attention to our border than the White House is. Right now, 18,000 Chinese nationalists have crossed the border this year, caught and released, and probably another 6,000 gotaways. Those Chinese nationalists are now infiltrating our universities, our high-tech institutions, learning all the secrets that we have when it comes to artificial intelligence. So look, we have to start by securing our border. That's why we're leading legislation to do just that, to restart building our border, more Border Patrol officers, and we need to fix this Biden policy of catch and release.
Well, they're obviously catching the Chinese nationalists and releasing them so that somebody can buy some paintings. Maybe that's the case there. But my big problem is that you and I can see anybody that's a red-blooded American can watch the film, see the drone footage, and know that we've got a massive problem on our southern border. We're trying to, get rid of the division between one side and the other in Congress, but one side that we're trying to build a foundation on for that bridge is telling us to our face that there's not a problem. I don't know how you can get over that.
Yeah. So first of all, don't listen to what they say, watch what they do. This Biden administration is actually making it easier to be caught and released. They have a smart app built to help make the program more efficient as well. So they're purposely lying to the American people. But the good news is Americans aren't buying it. We understand it. Every day across the nation now, we're losing 300 young Americans to fentanyl poisoning. Made in China, across the border. The cartel is throughout the nation. We have cartel members alive and well in Kansas distributing this, poisoning our children.
Well, it's all too close to my home, believe me. Then when it comes to the borders, let's broaden the subject out a little bit more. We're all too willing to defend other people's borders and give them, we're talking about Ukraine. Sure. We've got no real support on ours, but we want to spend $113 billion to help defend theirs. And a lot of other folks that are a lot closer in Europe, you say it's an existential threat, they're not giving anywhere near the money that we're giving. And yet we continue to want to give more and more and more to help them out with their situation and do nothing here. How is that going over with, say, even your constituents?
Well, it's not. It's not at all. I can't tell you the last time I had anybody come up to me and say, we need to give more money to Ukraine. Instead, what people are asking me about is about the price of gas and groceries on our own southern border. And that's why I pledged I'm not going to vote for any more spending for Ukraine until we secure our own border. Like you said, we've already given Ukraine $113 billion. And now they're more than the rest of the world put together. And so other countries need to step up and do their part. We still have not even applied maximum banking sanctions on them even as well. And everybody's predicting this is going to be a 5, 6, 7-year war. Look, we played this movie before and it was called Vietnam. I don't want to have a repeat of that. I don't want American bloodshed there. Let's take care of Americans first.
So it's all over the fact that we wouldn't, Russia was worried about them joining NATO, okay? We wouldn't come out and deny that would be the case either way, but the reason why they couldn't join NATO is the NATO leaders felt as though it was a corrupt country. There was a lot of things happening there that weren't good, and they probably needed another 20 to 25 years to clean up their act to be even considered to be a member of NATO. Yet we're all too willing to give all of those bad characters that are running that country $113 billion with no checks and balances. Do we have any way of knowing where all of that money and munitions went?
Well, in fact, it's just the opposite. The last time we went through this on the Senate floor, we asked for an inspector general. Rand Paul offered the amendment, and we were denied an inspector general to follow this every dollar and cent. And I tell you, Scott, I just got back from a trip to Europe talking to the leaders there, and they still describe Ukraine as a corrupt nation. It's the culture of the land. I understand they're between a rock and a hard place. We should have made them thornier to start with. I was begging 6 months before Russia crossed that border. Let's arm Ukraine then to keep Russia out. But now this administration has slow-walked the distribution of those weapons. It looks like to me that this Biden administration wants this war to be drawn out. And now the president of Poland saying that Ukraine is acting like a drowning person that's trying to take people down with it.
Right, and he was here looking for some more cash as well. It's a sad situation, and I agree with whomever said it's going to be 5 or 6 years because it doesn't look like there's going to be a winner, and if there is, it would be a border change, and we don't want that to happen, right? That's one of those problems. So I'm going to shift gears real quick before we go because I'm dressed like a clown, as you can see. It's my brand. I'm the cow guy, but we have an issue when it comes to dress code in the Senate. Do you want to go over that with us? Because I think it's very disappointing for the average person to see that we're dumbing down one of the most highly sought-after institutions.
Well, I can tell you right now that the people of Pennsylvania are embarrassed. When you and I get invited to go to a wedding, we put on a suit and a tie, at least I do, and maybe you can get away without it, but to honor the bride and groom, if there's a funeral, we get dressed up a dark suit, a dark tie to honor the deceased and the family. When I step on that Senate floor, I'm representing the people of Kansas. I think it would be disrespectful for me to not dress up. And for a person to show up, for a senator to show up on the Senate floor, to sit in the president's chair in shorts, is disrespectful to the people of Pennsylvania and, frankly, is disrespectful to the people of Kansas as well.
Okay, so obviously you and I feel the same way on that, but how about the left? How do they feel about it? I mean, do you get people that whisper in your ear, oh my gosh, I wish this wouldn't have happened? Or are they all on board? No questions asked. Real quick, we have 30 seconds.
Look, I think there are some whispers, but they are so woke, they cannot see beyond that woke train that they're on, that's more important than anything else to them. In this case, look, I have concern with people with mental health issues, and I understand Senator Fetterman has some issues that maybe he doesn't feel comfortable in a suit. But look, the people of Pennsylvania elected you to be the senator for the state of Pennsylvania. Act like one, dress like one.
And we got to hold that institution to a high level, and it's supposed to be the smartest, obviously, and the best, brightest people out there, and they're debating the most difficult subjects. You can wear a coat and tie, I think.
You got it.
All right, thank you very much for coming on. Thanks to everyone who sent a text on the cow phone. We love them. We gave extra time to